Hello everyone, this is a quick video of a Golf Clubsport S that's been with me actually for nearly 4 weeks over Christmas. Came in for a full detail. It's quite an unusual car. You probably know about the Clubsport S. There are 150 of these that came to the UK. This is number 247. And you know they're a Clubsport S because rather than having anything on the door, down in the centre, you can see the number there. And the nice thing about this car is it's actually done some miles. It's not one of those cars that's done 10 miles, sat in the collection. And that's the sad thing about Clubsport S's. A lot of them are. This one's really been used, has been abused to an extent. When it came to me, all of the paint down the driver's side was flat. So the driver's side of the car had been painted, also had the bonnet, and you can see I've gone to town on it. I've wet sanded it at least 3 times, then compounded it, wall pad, same on the side of the car. The finish now, I've put ceramic on. What I've used on this is Car Pro quartz. Absolutely brilliant finish. It's been on for about 12 hours now. The car also had, which is quite interesting, at the bottom of the doors there was rust, probably because it wasn't repaired very well. So down the bottom there you can see I've taken the stripe off the bottom of the doors, and particularly at the bottom of each wing. Same on both sides, quite a lot of rust. I'll put some pictures up to show that. And what I've done is I've ground that back, put epoxy primer on it, base coated it, and given it a couple of coats of clear lacquer, and you can see it's not too bad. You're never going to get tornado red paint to match exactly, but by the time the stripe's back on, you're just not going to know. And it was a bit of a mess there. But the good thing about the car is the panels are straight. One of the more unfortunate things is the car's obviously been in a lockup or in a garage at some point, and people have been storing things on the roof. So the roof had got lots and lots of scars and scratches, and I've spent hours on the roof. I've probably spent 5 hours on the roof. It's original paint on the roof. I've got a paint depth gauge. It was scratched to hell. Still is scratched to a point, but that's about as good as I can get it. I've sanded it down to 2000 grit, then 3000 grit, wall pad, and then compounded it. So that's about as good as I can get it, and it's pretty good now. And then the Clubsport S signature spoiler at the back. The rear tailgate was quite badly scratched along the loading area. So we've got that back to pretty decent, I think. Probably could do with some paint protection film across there. I think these cars, the very nature of them, they get used on track and such like, and they have super soft tyres. They come with Michelin Cup 2s. They're sticky, they throw stones up. That means the arches are vulnerable. But this car's pretty straight. The panel gap's all good around it. It's had some paint, but it's so much nicer to, like I said, to see one that's actually been used properly instead of sat in a collection. Or, you know, some of these cars now have become so valuable, you can't put any miles on them. You know, you buy one with 300 miles for 50 grand. Can you afford then to drive it? So this is actually quite refreshing. It's a car that's been used, abused to an extent, but these are strong cars. It's more or less stock from what I can see. There's some telltale signs, bits and pieces have been done. It's got insulation under the bonnet. Clubsport S's didn't have that. And I think the exhaust is different as well. But it's a VAG system, but not for a Clubsport S. So yeah, I thought you'd just worth having a look at this car, because it's something really interesting, and one of only 27 red ones out of the 150. So there you go.